sense, I might pay you. Make it make sense, I might pay you.
Make it make sense, come on, make it, baby. Make it make sense, come on, make it, make it, make it, make it, make it make sense, come on, make it, baby. Make it, baby. Make it make sense, come on, make it, make it.
What's good, y'all? Let's Make Sense of It podcast. We are back for another week, and like we always say,
The truth you don't want, but you definitely need it.
you definitely need it. I go by the Bull Vance.
And I'm Ann.
We are back again. It's been a couple weeks. It's
Definitely
been a couple
has.
weeks. Your favorite duo is back. You know what I'm saying? We had to take a little break, but we back at it. Like always, follow us on Instagram at Let's Make Sense of It _ Let's Make Sense of It _ If you're watching us right now on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button in the corner. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe. If you're listening to us, make sure you leave a review. Please leave a review. You know, leave those 5 stars. It's definitely well appreciated. And big shout out to us. We just surpassed the 500 subscriber mark on YouTube. So give it up for us. There we go. Appreciate y'all for subscribing. Appreciate it. Now, this week we're going to get into the topic of narcissism. Narcissistic person, all of that. So this should be a fun one. So let's start it this way. Narcissist. I'm gonna just give you different examples of a narcissist, and we're gonna break down each one of them. So, narcissist, the person in your life who lies to you, promises to change but never does. Let's start there.
Yeah, it's like shit out of you, bro.
Let's start there.
That's the person.
We could do it as far as talking about friendship, or we could do it as talking about a relationship. Either or.
Oh, definitely a friendship. A friendship is a guilt trip. Like you've been knowing this person since, say y'all been knowing each other since kindergarten, but they haven't grown, and you starting to see these tendencies in them narcissistic tendencies, and they guilt trip you to think that it's nothing. Basically, a narcissist is gonna gaslight you at any fucking moment. They all, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, that is their one key component to their personality. Is they will gaslight you. They will make it seem like even if you have the facts, the proof, you can pull it out right now and show them the proof that they're wrong. No, they're not.
Yeah, they're not gonna be wrong.
They're not wrong.
It's funny you say about kindergarten, like coming up with certain friends like that, and them being a narcissist, like coming up, maybe growing up. Cause you know, like, and once you've been around somebody for so long, it's like, all right, they like a family or whatever. So, but coming up as a kid, it's like, all right, you deal with little stuff here, deal with certain stuff. But then you become an adult and you start to realize, like, yo, my friend ain't shit.
Right.
Like, you should really start to realize, like, yo, this friend really ain't shit. Like, we've been together so long, so we kind of like, I don't want to say stuck together, but we got so many ties together. But then it's like, oh, this person is manipulative, pretty
Very
much.
much so.
Like, this person know, like, they know whatever they're doing is wrong. They know they did something wrong. You court them doing something wrong, but yet they'll tell you they did nothing wrong.
A child, and I throw another one at you. Your parents. Your parents can do it as well. They would basically, it's like they'll gaslight you, guilt you into feeling sorry for either, like, say if you want to move out the house or you want to move away, and it's just like your mom or your dad is making you feel guilty for trying to take a different type of step in your life, or going down a different path that they didn't choose for you, or they feel as though you need to stay close to home because they raised you and they made all these sacrifices, and now you stuck because you feel like you owe them something. And at the end of the day, it's just like you do and you don't. Like, when you have a kid, you have the kid. Your kid don't owe you shit. For real. They don't owe you anything. If you had to make them sacrifices, maybe you weren't ready for that kid.
Correct.
Right?
It's like a parent that's was in a family of doctors. Like this your mom might have been a doctor, grandma might be the doctor. You come along, you don't want to be a doctor.
You want to be a stripper.
Hey, listen. That's the career choice you choose. That's the career choice you choose. But you might not want to be a doctor. Like, that might not be your career path. You want to be something that you like to do. Maybe they did that because something that was their parents they did. Maybe you want to do something, you don't want to be a doctor. You want to do something that you like to do. They always say pick the career of something that you love. You might not love, you might not want to do all that schooling and want to be a doctor. You might just
be in that. You might just want to go right into owning a business. You might want to go to school for something totally different. You might want to teach kindergarten and grade school. You might want to teach high school. Like, narcissistic people just never find the fault in their own wrongdoings. It's always going to be you. It's always going to be something that you did wrong that's making them do wrong. And even at that moment, they're still not going to believe that they did anything wrong.
Nope, because that's actually feeds into the second thing I say. Refuses to take responsibility or accountability for their actions. at all. There's nothing nothing they do is wrong. Nothing they do is wrong. It's everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
When it comes to, I think a lot of baby moms, baby dads probably come off as a narcissistic person because they'll might get into an argument about something completely different. Mm-hmm. And somehow like they could be talking about a kid, like they could be talking about their kid, and somehow it'll come back to them. Somebody might still have feelings involved, and now they trying to
like you
talk
was out
down
here
on
being
them.
a trifling ass bitch. Like, whoa, hey, we were just talking about they need uniforms, and you ain't give up the money for the uniforms.
They'll try to make you feel bad, because you know sometimes when people move on and they get other significant others, the other person might not like that. They like, oh, you got a new baby mom, you're not a new baby mom, you got a new girlfriend, you got a new boyfriend. Now the parent, they're mad. Now they're upset. They want to be bitter. They want to come off of you like, well, what they see in you, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it.
They moved on.
Were you upset that they doing something that you wanted them to do with you and they doing it with somebody else? You weren't it. It's all right.
Yeah, you
like, bro, sis, it's cool. Just keep it pushing. Like, it's all right.
You can't keep looking back. You can't keep looking. That's one thing in life you can't do because you're gonna put yourself dig yourself in a deep hole that you're not gonna like.
It's just as far as narcissistic people, like you have to know the signs of a narcissistic person and you can't ignore them because you find yourself in a fucked up situation every time, and it had you questioning your own answers, your own questions, like what the fuck, maybe I'm your own judgment. It'll have you question your own judgment, and it'll make you feel like you're wrong in a situation that you're not. Like, if you give somebody full proof, if you give them proof that they're doing something wrong, and you come to them and say they're doing something wrong, doing something that hurts you, doing something that makes you feel some type of way, or whatever the case may be, and that person does not acknowledge that fact, instead they flip it on you to say, well, if I'm treating you that way, it's because such and such and such and such. Now they bringing up whatever you did wrong. You could have did this shit 10 years ago, but they bringing it up now because they're never wrong.
Right. It's like having an argument in a relationship, and you bring something up, and now your partner wants to bring up something from 3, 4, 5 months ago, but they never mentioned it until this particular argument came up and you did something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't like when you did this. Well, you did this 3 months ago, and yada yada yada. Well, why wasn't that addressed 3 months ago? Don't wait until it's beneficial for you to talk about it, because if it was bothering you that much, you should have addressed me back then. Don't wait. That's another thing I think people do that I really don't like. Don't wait until it's a problem or something that you're doing to flip it on that person, because that's a narcissistic trait right there. Flipping on that person, like, oh, well, remember you did this and you did that and I let this slide, and
I don't want to hear shit about it.
I didn't know about it. Don't matter.
If I'm bringing up a situation that you did yesterday or today, and you want to bring up something from 3 months ago, conversation is over.
Yeah,
because at that moment 3 months ago, you should have brought it up then. Now it's irrelevant. You already done passed it. We done had happy moments and all that type of shit. We still going on date nights, and now you want to bring it up?
Yeah, because that's manipulative, which is another one. Like you're trying to manipulate this conversation and spin it on me, or spin it on that person that they did this.
Yeah, it's not a tit for tat thing. No. If you're doing something wrong right now and I'm addressing it, like, be mindful that I'm addressing it now so we can fix it. Because if you continue to do it and not allow it, we're both in the wrong. Right.
Very much. But, off of that, constantly diminish you while building themselves up.
Ooh.
That's a big one. Like, I'm gonna talk down on you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk down on you because you ain't got it all together yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here, but you're not. I'm doing good here. I'm making this. I'm doing that. But you're doing okay, but you're not where I'm at. Or
instead of somebody helping you get to where they are or anything like that, they'd rather just point out your insecurities and your weakness. So whatever you're not good at, whatever you're not, strong, whatever the case may be, they're just gonna pick on that particularly. So it doesn't matter how good they're doing, you're always gonna be doing something that's less than.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's like you gain weight, whether it's a friend that you knew and they're doing better, and instead of giving you the tips or seeing maybe talking to you about what you want to do, because nobody's ever came to you with that conversation. They're just telling you, they're just sitting there with their success, like, this is exactly what I'm doing and you're not doing it, so we're not even on the same level. and I'm just gonna boast about my success.
Right. It's like the person that's like you said about the weight thing. Like it's the person that's always in the gym, and then somebody that finally decides to go to the gym, and they say, "Man, I'm starting to feel good," and they're like, "Oh well, you still got a long way to go." Like, well, damn. Like the first step is the hardest. Like, damn, can I just started here. Like, you think I'm just supposed to be all swole? I'm supposed to be just
right. Watching you in the gym, like you watching me struggle. Like, I mean, come on, I got people go to the gym and they know what they want to work on, but they don't know how to start. That was definitely me. I was just
in there, just using machines.
Just using machines. Like this not even working for me. I'm doing a whole bunch of leg presses and I don't need to do all that. This is the wrong body part I'm trying to work on. Just help that
somebody.
person out. Like help them out. If you see somebody trying to do something that you're successful at, like help them out. If you don't want to help them out, then don't say shit about it. Like I hate people that do that. If you see somebody trying to start a business, instead of you going over to that person or like DMing that person or calling that person and saying, well, yeah, this is how my business is doing and this is the revenue and this is it's just like,
no,
you see me trying to start it,
right?
Like at least give me a hint to where I need to start at so that I can maneuver my way around it. Like I'm not saying give me all your secrets, that's perfectly fine,
right.
But don't sit there and boast about it. You see me over here fucking struggling to get sales. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Like I'm asking you for help, and you over here, you telling me why your business is successful, but you're not telling me. You're telling me about you, but not really helping me out.
Yeah,
that's
like,
the part
that
I don't
shit is
understand.
boring.
Like, why are you not helping me out?
Like,
it's okay, people. It's okay to help people. You don't, like I said, you don't have to give them. You don't have to give them the full scope of everything. Just give them a little. Well, here's a little hint. Maybe you should try this, or here's a little. It could be a little something small. Like they could be doing something in marketing wise. You be like, yo, if you just try this to market your business, this might work a little better. And give you a little, you know what I'm saying?
And everything doesn't need a price tag on it. Like, I swear,
Yeah,
black people as a whole, we put a price tag on every bit of knowledge that we can give. If somebody is trying to start a clothing line, y'all want them to buy y'all ebooks for $25 or shit like that. And it's just like...
I get it. But, come on, you get to a certain point, like, come on, man. We
like, damn. Like, oh, okay, well, never mind then. I'll just... It's a difference between somebody that's trying to leech off you and somebody that actually is asking for your help. Somebody trying to leech off you, you have to know the difference. But you charging everybody the same fucking price around the board. Right. And some people just honestly just want your help. They're not asking you for the full fucking blueprint of how they start a business. They're asking you for a particular thing because you are doing something that they want to do.
It could be, you know, sometimes it do be people that just come along and will really annoy you though. Be like, yo.
And this is for the people that's going to probably comment or think about it and say, well, they can look up the information just like I looked it up. You're definitely fucking right.
True.
But some people do that and they don't find it or they don't understand it. So if I go look for it and I don't understand it, but I see you successful at it and I come ask you, well, hey, how did you such and such and such, how did you X, Y, and Z? Just say, oh, this is a particular page I went to. This is a particular book I picked up. This is the particular seminar I went to get this information. Simple as that. Y'all want to automatically charge somebody $200 for a foolproof fucking class, and their business still don't get off the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
It's the equivalent of those. I want to have somebody that does business when they come here, but I'm gonna touch on this right now. Like those business brunches.
Oh.
Some of those business brunches, man. I think they be. I'm not gonna say a scam because you get to meet a lot of people. You do. But I thought the purpose of some of those business lunches was to get some knowledge. And some people just walk out of there with empty pockets. Like they just walked out there with a ticket they bought and a mimosa.
They ain't got no motivation. They stayed just as lost as they was before they walked the fuck in there.
Right. Like they might have took a bunch of notes. They might have had a bunch of notes because some of these they'll give you just enough that you can start. But then if you want to go to the next level, you have to go to another class. And then you got to pay the premium. You got to pay the premium. That's how they get you though. Like, I'm going to give you the basic. But if you want some more knowledge,
it's like cable.
I'm going to give you the premium.
You pay for local channels. And then if you want HBO, Cinemax, and Showtime, you got to pay for the premium channels, right? So your bill goes up.
And now listen, we understand everybody got to make money. That's perfectly fine. Everybody got to make money. But you got to realize sometimes when you start out with your business, you're not making money. You're losing more money than you're making. So I get it. Relies on a sob story to justify their negative actions.
Ooh, I don't care.
You
better talk to Jesus.
Not you better talk to Jesus.
I don't care.
That is like the ultimate form of manipulation and narcissism right there. Like, oh well, you know, I came up, I ain't really had nobody.
Oh really?
I ain't really, you know what I'm saying, I'm not used to this.
Oh really?
They'll say that and then it'll just flip to, But I feel as though you should know that because, like,
I feel as though you should just know that this is me and I ain't changing nobody.
That right there, that this is me shit, that has to stop. People,
got it. You
people,
got it.
You have to stop with the that's just me shit has to stop. Like, no. You're getting older now. Like, we're not little kids no more. We're not, that this is me shit is cool when you might be like 17, 18, and you're going into the real world. You 30, 35, 40. Like, we need you to, that this is me shit is not.
Just like any other species, animal, whatever case may be, as humans, you should be evolving with time. If you are still the same, something's wrong.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. So for the people that are saying, you want to use your sob story, this is how I grew up. I don't know how to, give love. I don't know how to receive it. My mom wasn't like this. My dad wasn't like this. I didn't have anybody. I understand that. Everybody grows up differently. Everybody goes through life differently. But after a certain time and a certain age, if you still don't know how to give or receive love, something's wrong and you need professional help, because that's weird. That's really weird that you're using your childhood, your keyword childhood. You're using your childhood and your adolescence years to bring it up when you're 30.
Right.
No. Because I'm pretty sure you done had multiple jobs. If you went to school, you went to school. If you went to college, you spent 4 years in a dorm room around multiple people and you still don't know how to do basic human things. That doesn't make sense to me. So you need to be evolving. If you're not evolving, you need to take a step back and realize it and point it out to yourself. But narcissists don't do that. They don't do that.
They stay in their ways. It's like a puppy doesn't stay a puppy. A puppy eventually turns into a dog, just like a kitten turns into a cat. Like you don't just stay at that particular stage of your life. Even the most controlling person, like you eventually you got something has to change.
Some levels of that control change. Either it gets heightened or it pulls back a little bit.
You got to grow.
You have to grow.
People don't want to grow. People rather make excuses. That's just in general. Not even just narcissistic people. That's people in general. People rather make excuses for the problems in their life than going out dealing. We know we all got problems. Keep it being with you. Everybody out here fucked up. Everybody got problems. We just can't sit around and just, why me? Why does this happen to me? I feel like I should be where this person is, when you don't even know where this person at the whole time.
That woe is me attitude don't get you nowhere.
No.
It does not get you nowhere. And you know what narcissistic people do? They keep people around them that will keep enabling them. And the people that don't enable them, they keep at a distance. So certain things you won't be included in. So if you're in a relationship, so if a narcissist is in a relationship and they know that it's a shitty relationship, but the people that won't enable them during this time, they keep at a distance. But the people that don't give a shit or just want to be a part of that moment will stay around, and they'll keep enabling you to make the wrong decisions, to keep enabling you to keep going back to this person or staying in this job or doing this. Like they'll keep that core thing going, and then you'll just be fucked up all around because now you just got yes men around you.
Yeah, the enabler is just as bad as the person that's doing the enabling. Like they're just as bad. You encouraging this type of behavior is just telling this person it's okay to continue this behavior. Like it's like if somebody's trying to come to you, they're trying to be on a budget or they're trying to be on a diet or something along those lines, and they keep eating this certain type of food, they keep spending all this money, and they keep wondering why nothing's happening because you're not changing the action. There's no change without action. You got to put some action into.
There you go.
And make something happen.
Yeah, words is only one thing, but you can't.
Yeah, words don't mean nothing.
Yeah, actions show everything. So you can't. It's like saying I love you to somebody, but your actions don't show it. It's like what?
Yeah,
that's what I did.
You know what I mean? Sometimes people come up to me, oh man, I want to start a podcast. Go ahead and start it.
Start it.
What you waiting for? Oh no, man, I don't
that's
know.
That's why I just bought the equipment.
Yeah, fuck it. We ain't waiting around, baby. We gotta go ahead.
What the equipment fell to space. Here we are.
Absolutely. You gotta go ahead and do it, man. Sometimes you just gotta go ahead and just up and put your plan. If you really want to do something hard enough, you gonna do it. It don't really matter.
It don't matter. Nobody can hold you. Nobody's gonna hold you back from anything that you want to do besides yourself. You can have 50 million people telling you no, but as long as you say yes, who else is gonna stop you?
Yeah, because there's people out here that have zero talent. Nothing against them. They have zero talent. But guess what? They have a following because they put the time in to get that following. Like they might be a terrible rapper. They might be a terrible person. But guess what? It might be a terrible comedian. It might be anything. But guess what? How many bad comedians you know out here that still get that bag? Listen.
How many people y'all know that's on TikTok right now? Funny as shit. But you know damn sure you probably wouldn't go see them at an actual show.
Yeah.
At a live venue because you know that it won't last as long. But on TikTok and on Instagram, they funny as hell. For them 2-minute videos or them quick 30-second videos.
Yeah.
Quick hit. But can they actually sell a show?
Yeah.
That's the key. Do a whole lineup. Can they do that? Probably not.
I remember Steve Harvey did an interview. He said, once you get to the point that you're trying to please your consumer, he said everything's good online. He said, but when you get in front of those people and they're paying to come see you and you're in charge of making them laugh, that's when you see, you know what I'm saying, are they going to be a returning customer or are they going to be a one-time customer? That's the key.
I about to say Bernie Mac got booed when he first did Def Jam. Want y'all know that.
Yeah.
And then he went back and told him he didn't give a fuck.
Yep.
And continued his success after that.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Hey, scared of none of you motherfuckers.
That part.
They violate boundaries.
Ooh.
When it comes to a narcissist, man, so boundaries are like imagination to them. Like it's just there's no boundaries, because that violating boundaries could turn into an abusive person or abusive relationship or them making you do something that you don't want to do. That's bad.
They care less about anything that you have to say. So remember, what was it, 2 episodes ago? Or maybe that last episode when I told y'all if you have hard passes, you have to stand on those. Yeah. Your boundaries count with everybody, no matter who it is, family member, friend, relationship. If you have boundaries that you will not budge on, don't budge on them. Don't let nobody guilt you into budging on those boundaries. And narcissistic people will do that. As simple as that. Like if you're not the type of person, if you have friends that like to go out and get rowdy, and you know they're your friends, but you're not really a rowdy person, don't let nobody guilt you into becoming fucking rowdy. Don't do it. If you're not gonna do it, then don't. It's a hard pass. They'll still be your friends at the end of the day. If not, then they just a bunch of sorry ass motherfuckers. But at the end of the day, stand on your boundaries at all moments, at all times.
Yeah, you gotta. The older you get, sometimes you gotta evaluate your circle. That's a big thing. Evaluating your circle, because as you grow, sometimes the people around you don't quite grow with you. It's like flowers growing, but those weeds they growing around you too. Sometimes you gotta cut those dead weeds out.
Right.
Some of your friends are dead weeds that y'all just constantly keeping around because they're your friends. But no, sometimes those weeds can kill you as a flower or kill you as a plant. Like you gotta.
Your garden is not gonna grow.
Your garden ain't. Sometimes less is more. Well, sometimes less is more.
And don't say no to don't say no to no new friends. I understand trusting people in this day and age is very scarce. But don't say no to no new friends, because a lot of y'all be online I ain't got no friends, but then 2 hours later you out with a bunch of motherfuckers and these my niggas, okay. Oh, you ain't got no friends. We didn't have no friends 2 hours ago, so what's going on?
Meet the right friends.
Meet the right friend. Have your friends set up to where you know if you want to go out and you want to get shit-faced drunk, have your friends that's going to do that. Don't invite the friends that you know is damn sure they ready to go at 11 o'clock and you want to stay out till you want to play the let out or some shit.
You gotta have the business friends too, the people that you can talk business with. We need to get to this. Yeah. Because you can't share your business plans with everybody, because everybody not gonna be take it as serious or as they're not just gonna take it serious. It's not even another word for it. They're not gonna take it serious as you are. Nobody's gonna take your business as serious as you. Number one, especially when you're trying to grow. And
just like if you're a parent, you need friends that are parents as well. Because your friends that aren't parents, they're not really going to understand everything. Some of that stuff is common sense, but a lot of that stuff is not. They're not going to understand your sleepless nights for real, because they're going to be like, well, I'm tired from work. You tired from work and making sure your babies or your kids have everything that they need, especially if you're a single parent. So, you always have to have those, different type of friends. And sometimes I think people get stuck into the matter that they need all their friends they've been friends with to be on the same accord, and they're not.
No, because you'll see. You might not have friends around. You might have friends that you might not see for a while. You might have friends around for a long time. Let you blow up or something. That phone is gonna be on fire. Hey man, checking on you, see how you was such and such.
I see you made such and such.
Yeah, no.
Don't be, if I got friends that don't support my podcast, right? If
when
this shit blow up, I don't want to hear no phone calls. You ain't share a post. You ain't like nothing. None of that. I don't want to hear shit.
You gonna get all the phone calls. Ain't gonna get all the phone calls for, yo, Aunt, you saying I see the podcast, man, you know what I'm saying? You know?
Come record my shit. I need you to take my picture. Like, no, bro. No, you ain't repost none of my you ain't
I
even
see you was taking a picture. Oh, you was up on the roof stage? Oh shit, I didn't know your podcast was there. Yeah, nigga.
You made it.
Yo, it says narcissistic people, they don't love, they take hostages.
Sound weird.
They do,
Like, okay.
but it's say they don't know how to love. They just know how to manipulate,
They
pretty
don't.
much.
They don't know what love. They don't know. They don't have the tendency to care about other people's feelings.
Yeah, that's a cycle too. That's like one of them childhood, like one of them cycles. Like your parents,
Most cycles are narcissists.
most cycles don't break either. Like you see somebody like your dad was like this, their dad was like this, and somehow along the line you became like this. Is like it was in the blood. It's up to you. It's always up to you to break a cycle. I think breaking a cycle is probably one of the hardest things that people in the world have to do. Like sometimes, somewhere along the line, somebody broke the cycle. Like, all right, I'm not going to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. I'm not going to be that racist white kid. I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to break the cycle away from it's to the point that some of these people probably got disowned, but they knew better. They knew they had to stand on, better values and better morals. All right. So, make sense of it. Make sense of it. I got some. It's just some off topic. Some off topics. It's not our 2 cents. It's just make sense of this quote. All right. So just some couple off topic Jones, but
Okay.
it says, and I quote: "A teacher's life would be easier if parents put the same effort for prom and graduation into
Yes.
schoolwork."
Oh my God. Listen here. I saw a post yesterday. It was like a teacher retired, and she wrote a letter to one of her 5th grade students' parents who was constantly bashing her online. And she said she didn't have social media, but she heard about what was going on. And basically in this letter, to sum it all up, she basically read her, to the end of time, very professionally. But basically a lot of parents today blame the teachers for like their kids' failures. But it's just like, your kid is coming to school and they're sleeping in class. You can't get them to school on time. They don't focus. They're not reading at the right level. They're not doing math at the right level. And you blaming the teacher. A lot of these teachers are underpaid. A lot of these teachers are overwhelmed because they have too many kids in the classroom that they can't teach. But everything starts at home. It goes with everything. Like these kids out today that's out shooting, running around playing with guns, ain't got no fucking aim, no license, no nothing. Like that shit starts at home as well. And everybody wants to blame somebody else, but nobody takes accountability. Like you're their parents. Like you should be focusing on your child's homework. Now some of y'all understand y'all may be overwhelmed. Y'all may have multiple jobs. Y'all may be doing this all by yourself with no support, but your child also comes first in that sense as well. You can't put everything on their fucking teacher. At the end of the day, they with their teacher from 7 in the morning to about 3 in the afternoon. After that, where the fuck do they go? Home.
Right.
So who's helping them with their homework? Who's making sure they get to school on time? Who's making sure that their projects are done? They have the supplies they need. You. So if they come home and you're not focusing on that stuff, you're not paying attention to their homework, and they just throwing their book bag down, going outside, playing their games on the phone or going to sleep.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Because it all starts at home. Those 8 hours a day that the teacher has is useless if they're only have those hours. They had those 8 hours, and after that, it's just forget everything. No homework, no nothing. No, this kid just go to school just because they have to go to school, and then they don't want to be in school. Some of these kids don't want to be in school. They're in school.
Nobody wants to be in school.
Yeah, nobody wants to be in school, but hey, you got to learn something.
You gotta learn.
Part of that goes back to they need to change the curriculum, but that's a whole nother story because they're teaching a bunch of
They need
ancient.
to bring back home ec shop.
Yeah.
They need a finance class in school so they can teach kids about financial aid,
Real life
taxes,
shit. Yeah.
debt, all that type of shit.
Y'all still teaching all this bullshit that will never get used.
Stop beating down their heads and need to go to college.
Yes, that's another thing. That is another thing.
There are so many technical schools that they can go to. They can build on a skill rather than just going to college. Because they go to college, they get a basic ass degree and don't get a job in that degree.
Since we on that college thing, let me tell you something. If you're gonna go to college, whoever is listening, watching this, I want y'all to understand. When y'all go to college, make sure you get a degree in something that you can use. There's only probably five to six things you can get a degree in that's gonna be very useful for you. Business, engineering, a doctorate. I just drew a blank. Anything in the medical field, anything in the law field, anything that you know is going to be around forever.
Yeah.
Medical, law, business,
science,
anything along those lines where it's going to be around. Don't go take up a bullshit class. I'm going to study Beyonce or I want to go do this. Like, no, don't take up sports management, sports management too, but don't
But
take
you
up.
gotta be good at that.
Yeah, you gotta be good at that too.
You gotta be good at that.
Don't just take up I don't even know, like a drama or something that's irrelevant. Like, if you're going to go to a major college, take up something that's relevant. If you want to take up a drama class or something like that, go to a specific college that you know, like, oh, they make actresses, they make actors. I'm gonna go ahead. Stop going to.
But have the drive.
Yeah.
So if you go to college and you
don't waste 4 years, please don't waste 4 years.
A liberal arts degree or a communications degree, those are kind of the basic ones because they're so broad and
Right.
you can do multiple things in them. Make sure you have the drive to go into that field because there are very few jobs that you gonna get right out of college that's gonna actually get you some money.
Yeah, because
A lot of times you get out of college, now you got 4 years of fucking debt and you working at Macy's.
Yeah.
That doesn't help you. But I'm not telling you to go into science because a lot of people can't focus on science. I'm not telling you to go into business. A lot of people don't want to go into business. But go into something that you're actually going to make money at, but you have the drive to go into. Don't let somebody force you to go to college when you want to study mechanics. You can go to a technical school for that. And if you want to further your education, go take classes on it. Go get your associate's degree, whatever you can. But if you know that you don't have anything particular that you want to go to college for, do something else.
Yeah, very much because me personally, I'll give you a personal story. I didn't go to college. I went to a trade school in high school. I graduated, got right into the Carpenters Union. Took 4 years. They paid me 4 years apprenticeship. I worked at a company, and 12 years later, I'm still working there, making very good money. So you don't always have to take the college route because I know plenty of people that went to college and they don't even remotely even use their degree, and that was just a waste. They just got a bunch of debt.
I know people that went to nursing school and they do hair now. Because they found more passion in doing hair when they could have. They could have still got their nurse's degree, but they could have went to school for getting their cosmetology license.
Y'all could have did both. Y'all could have been a nurse during the day, braid hair at night. What to?
They got something else to fall back on as well because they have that degree, but it wasn't your passion. So you paid for schooling and you did all that, and now you're doing something different.
It was a waste. Now let me give you this one. This one's crazy. It says this was a true story. It was a NFL player. He had died, but it said the parents say they will not attend his funeral service since they never met his wife and wouldn't want that to be their first time meeting.
That's stupid.
You're
not going to attend your child's funeral service because you never met his wife? Say hello.
That is, first of all,
stupid.
People. I don't understand people sometimes. Let's just put that out there. Like, just when you think you understand the human race, I just don't understand people. Like, is it that big of a deal that you didn't meet that person? I'm going to take a lucky guess and say that it was some type of tension there beforehand. Mm-hmm. Because if he never even remotely mentioned you, how close were y'all in the first place?
You said wife, so it means he got married and didn't introduce you? So that means he proposed and didn't introduce you. So there's something wrong. So that's where accountability comes in. Parents, what did you do? Yeah.
You never met the wife. You never met the wife. So that means you must not have been at the wedding. So it was something way further, way deeper than this. Your son just died. Your son just died a tragic death.
Your child.
Yeah, they died a tragic death, and you're worried about not going to the funeral because you don't want to meet the wife? Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Now you just adding more trauma and more broken cycle stuff there. Like, it's just because now the wife's like, all right, well, I never met you, and I can see why I never met you. And it's sad. And
it's sad because she won't get to share the memories of her husband with his parents. So I'm not understanding. That's your child. Why wouldn't you go to their funeral?
Yeah, God. All right. 2-6 segment. We about to have some fun here. We're gonna have some fun here.
Oh, we're gonna have some.
We're gonna turn the mic up here. Bring my camera guy in here. We're gonna ask him a question. He's gonna be in charge of asking us questions in the future. But we're gonna ask him. We're gonna ask him his. So you might have seen this online. It was the chick and the guy. They were texting, and basically it said, "This is how the message went." It was like, "No, for real though," with the laughing John, and it said, "So where you taking me?" He said, "Roof Chris." Mm-hmm. So she said, "Look, I know this date is going to lead us to fucking. So whatever money you plan on spending, you could just give it to me, and we could still fuck." Now, what's your thoughts on that?
Real life prostitute.
Yo,
she said, "I'll just take the bread." And
she said, "Look, I know this date is going to lead to us fucking. So whatever money you planned on spending, you could just give it to me, and we can still fuck." Now, if a chick said that to you, what would your reaction be?
I would have sent her the laughing emoji and I would have just blocked her.
You would have blocked her.
Wow. Like,
First of all, it's giving very much prostitution vibes. Number
Yes.
one. Like it's
how you get like what the hell?
Because it's all right. Obviously, you find me attractive, cool, but that's all you trying to get out of me. But
Right.
you know, people see social media and certain stuff, so they look at. They already got they already have their premeditated thoughts about you. So I'm gonna take it as she saw stuff that she liked. She's like, oh, he probably getting money. Oh, you know what? Let me see if he just trying to hit, and I just take his bread. He probably one of them type bulls. Nah.
he said no. So what's the wildest thing a chick ever said to you when like if y'all was going out on a date or something? You ever had something crazy along these lines? Like something crazy along, especially knowing that you're a camera guy. You ever had any a chick ever say some wild shit? You be like, yo, that's out of pocket. Like I had to block her.
Oh, that shit happened like yesterday.
Oh shit.
Instagram flagged me for posting it too. This shit was crazy.
What happened?
Some random person. So they hit me up before for a shoot. I was busy, so I couldn't make it. I'm not really looking at their Instagram all crazy to really see who the person was, but I thought it was a girl. Push kind of shove. Whole time it's a nigga. Now I'm not against like transgender people.
Right.
I'm not opposed to working with anybody in the LGBT community. So I'm comfortable with that. So, but what threw me off was they DM me again. They like, yo, where you at? I'm trying to shoot. And they say, yo, I'm about to start doing porn. What's up?
What? Wait, what? Wait, what, yo?
Excuse me?
Wait, that's what they say. Hey, yo.
I thought we was doing a photo shoot. Now I'm shooting porn.
I know, like, wait, what?
Why? Like, they trying to get me to shoot porn. But then I was like, so I went to the page. I'm like, yo, this a nigga.
They start talking crazy.
Start talking crazy. Like, come on, bro. Like, certain shit just don't be flying, bro. I had to
That's
block
not
that ass.
Yeah,
I
that's-
reposted it. Like, I reposted the messages in their page telling people, like, yo, this is the kind of shit I be dealing with sometimes. And anybody, this goes just for anybody. I'm going to block that ass every time. I'm going to block that ass every time. I posted that shit on Instagram, flagged me talking about you posted nudity. Bro, why their page literally what I just screenshot and I'm getting flagged for it?
Like their whole page should be fucking flagged.
That's
Like,
that's very much
That's
life of a camera guy there. All right, I got one more. Did you see the chick that threw the ashes into the ocean or into the
Stop fucking.
Did you see
That's
that?
fucked up. Yo, and I just was talking about that. I was like, it's fucked up. Is and all extra is fucked up. But I was like, niggas have to stop playing with these females.
Ew.
You do not know what she is gonna do when you hurt her feelings.
That's out of pocket. No, she was out of pocket.
Like it
for
was
that.
another video, and this girl her boyfriend cheated on it, and she went to his apartment, destroyed all his shit.
Why?
She threw his PlayStation out the
no, we gotta
fucking
run
third
with it. We
floor
gotta run with
window.
He died.
Out the
We gotta
third
run with
floor
that.
window into the fucking grass. Like she destroyed his shit. I'm just saying, niggas have to make better choices too. But females, I mean,
But
when you take it too far, if you take it too far, you get arrested. That's your fucking fault. Like you should have controlled your feelings.
Yo, she looked at.
But don't cry now. Like you
Yo,
did that
she
shit.
look-
You
she looked
reposted
at-
it. You took a picture of it. You recorded it. You felt your shit with strong stance.
She looked at crazy though when they took. They said that they had her locked up or had her the mug shot. Oh,
She was
man.
in there all red eyed because you was crying because you fucked up. Like you shouldn't have recorded it. Ain't no proof. How they gonna have proof? Now you got it all over fucking social media. Everybody can repost it. Once it's on the internet, it's out there forever.
It's very much giving psycho vibes. Very much just leave, man. Like that, because now you gonna have the whole family after you keep being with you. You throw my mom ashes into the that's personal. You gotta die.
If she would have came up missing, we would have known why.
Yeah, we wouldn't know why. Oh man, that's our 2 6 7, man. Listen, we're gonna make this a weekly thing, man. We're gonna make sure we use some quotes he be putting online on Instagram. We gonna we gonna make sure.
Go crazy with them, John.
All right, now we talked about the narcissistic person. Now the damaged person.
Damn.
Now damaged person. The damaged person will always seek approval of people who aren't that interested in them. Do you agree on it?
Damaged people.
Yeah, damaged. They will always seek approval of people who aren't that interested in them. Pretty much, they need to they need to have what's the word for it? Have confirmation that they're a good person, pretty much, because they're so damaged.
Oh, you need therapy.
You need a therapist. Just right to the
Because if you seeking approval from other people, I mean, all y'all bleed the same. You seeking approval from another person,
True.
constantly. You like any relationship you get into, a friendship, whether it's your job, everything like that. If you're constantly seeking somebody else's approval and you don't feel like what you're doing is good enough, you need to talk to someone professionally because you actually have a problem. Your trauma, all those things that damaged you or made you the person that you are, you haven't dealt with. So, i.e., you either swept them under a rug or they on the surface and just waiting to come out. So instead of you dealing with them, you just trying to make sure everybody know you're a nice person. If you're a nice person, people know you're a nice person. They can speak on that constantly. If you're a bad person, people will speak on that constantly. If you're damaged, somebody is damn sure speaking on that because they know you know the type of person you are or what you're doing.
Right.
You got to work better on your shit.
You ain't always got to announce yourself, as I would say. You ain't always got to announce to the world, "Oh, I'm a great person. The world's going to figure that out themselves. People around you, your vibes itself is going to give it off. Like, if you keep constantly saying, "Oh, I'm a good person, I'm a good person, I'm a good person," or you got to constantly post some shit online here, post some shit online there, we understand. Those people that's usually like that are probably usually the complete opposite. Usually the complete opposite of those people that they portray. Because a lot of people online that portray a character, like we said before. There's a lot of people that online that portray a character of who they are, and really offline they're the complete opposite person. That's just. But damaged people trying to seek that validation. That's the word I was looking for. They always try to seek that validation because they've been so damaged. All right, I'm a good person, right? You gotta keep going. I'm a good person, right? Like, you've been through a lot of traumas. If you get to that point, you gotta seek validation for somebody who most likely they probably fucked up too. Like, they don't care.
They fucked up and they just don't show it as much as you do. But if you've been like damaged, if you've been hurt a lot, or you feel like you're a good person and people just keep shitting on you, you need help. Yeah. Like, you need help with getting over your trauma so you don't have to keep going through these cycles of damaged people damaging you even more. Because hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, and they continue to hurt people.
Until they get to a person that they can't hurt, and it's just like,
yeah, now what?
Deal with your shit.
Now what? Now here's another one. It says, damaged people say they will always wonder what they did wrong.
Yeah. But that comes from mess with a lot of narcissistic people too. Yeah. Because if somebody constantly telling you that you're doing something wrong and you feel like you're doing something right, you're going to start to question it. You're going to start to question your judgment a whole lot. Because you're going to wonder, like, well, what the fuck did I do? Especially if you was in a relationship, you gave somebody everything. You gave them your all. And be like, well, what the fuck did I do wrong that they didn't accept it? And it's not specifically you. I mean, some people are people pleasers. Yeah. Like, they are damaged. They need confirmation or validation from somebody else. Some people are just genuinely nice people, and they don't feel as though when somebody does bad to them, they have to do it back. Sometimes you just have to take into consideration that these people don't deserve that. And they're also damaged as well, or something's wrong with them as well that they need to work on, but y'all just met up and it just, led into a whole lot of fuck shit. The worst type of relationship that could happen is a damaged person and a narcissistic person. Cool. Because that is just like two trains colliding head on. And that's going to create, and you just hope that those type of people don't reproduce and have kids, because that kid's going to come up and it's going to be they're not even going to know how to act. Because on one hand you might see somebody, it might be your mom or your dad, they're so damaged, but on the other hand you got either the mom or the dad, they're talking down on this person, they're trying to control this person. Like, it's a bad mixture right there. It's a bad mixture right there. And when it comes to like the damaged person always wonder what they did wrong, that's because like somebody somewhere along the line, they hurt them so bad. Because sometimes this is usually how it works out. Like, a damaged person might be dealing with something, and then the rest of the weight of the world just falls on them. Like, bills might fall behind. They might have to deal with stuff with their kids. Like, they might have lost a job, or might have lost a job opportunity. Like, they feel like
everything's like just crashing in at once. So that really just puts a person into a shell.
Sometimes that's how the universe works, though.
Yeah,
like,
true.
When one thing is going wrong, everything
goes wrong. When it rains, it pours, as they say.
Exactly. And it's just like, it's up to you to either stay out there and get wet or find you an umbrella. Or, just somewhere to sit under that you're not getting rained on.
Yeah, that's why it's important. Sometimes you try to check on check on people, man, because you just never know.
Yeah, get strong. Check on your strong friend.
The strong friend is usually the one that's dealing with the most.
Yeah.
That's why they the strong friend. They just probably won't never. The strong friend never shows you what they're dealing with unless it gets to a point. You be like, yo.
Unless all that shit starts to seep out, now you can see it. But other than that, they just try to keep it all together.
Yeah.
Because who actually is gonna help them? If they helping anybody else, who the fuck is there to help them?
Yeah, well, if you call somebody for some advice or something, don't just automatically get right into your shit. Ask them is they cool first, cause y'all just be ready to just lay shit on people, and they trying to get their mental together. They might have lost a family member, they might be dealing with some shit themselves, and you already right at them.
Call them and be like, hey, I need some advice on anything. Are you willing to give me advice right now? Are you capable of giving me advice? Like, I don't want to burden you.
Yeah, don't just
go from there.
Don't just get right in and yo, man, you bleed this shit, because that shit becomes a burden.
Y'all get on the phone, don't even say hello.
No hello, nothing. You just get right into a girl.
Like,
yo,
damn.
my man, like damn.
Like it's 12 o'clock.
I know.
Like, bro, I'm
you had breakfast shit.
Exactly. You know we don't eat breakfast at the right time anymore. So,
exactly.
Shit,
it's brunch. It's brunch or dinner. It's no breakfast. It's brunch or dinner now. It's no breakfast no more.
Like, hello, how are you?
Another one, a damaged person. They don't know how to respond to love. That's crazy because the damaged person and the narcissistic person are the same when it comes to responding to love, just for two different reasons.
They think everything is a setup.
Yeah.
So if somebody is actually treating them right, they can't accept it because they just waiting for that other shoe to drop and for that person to turn into everything that that everybody else was beforehand. So now they just waiting and waiting.
And
they can't accept all the good that's happening.
Right. That's gotta be hard to try to date that way though.
It is.
Like
you gotta keep reassuring somebody that you're there.
Yeah, because it's probably a lot of people relationships or not even relationships. They might be dating, and then that person is so damaged. They be like, man, I can't. It takes a strong person to deal with a damaged person. It takes a really strong person to deal with a damaged person because you not only are you trying to prove your worth to this person, you also have to prove that stuff that happened in the past was from those people that it did it in the past and not from you. And that's two times. But if you prove that and you can show that, I feel as though you can start that damaged person will start to gravitate to you like, all right, this person is different. Mm-hmm. People know when somebody else is different. Can't treat everybody.
Or they'll stop fucking with you altogether.
Yeah, or that too. Definitely that too. Got a question. It says healing from childhood trauma as an adult. It actually kind of goes back to what we said early on. But somebody asked that question like, how do you heal from childhood trauma as an adult?
Acknowledge it. Everything is like a 12-step programs when you're trying to get off alcoholism or drug habits. Alcoholism or drug habits and everything like that. It's a 12-step program. The first thing to do is acknowledge it. If you acknowledge that you have trauma that you haven't dealt with, the next step is how do you go about healing from it? Whether you have to talk to somebody that caused that trauma and get out all your grievances. Even if that person, you feel like that person doesn't hear you, you need to let it out. Because you're holding it in. And then people will get into relationships or friendships and then try to talk it out with those people. But it's like, I didn't cause your trauma, so all I can give you is the advice that I would use to get you through this. But you have to deal with your trauma head on. Like, if your mom was a piece of shit, she's still living, she's still around, and she caused you some type of trauma, if she caused you to feel some type of way, go talk to her. You can say that it's not going to help. It definitely will help. Because you talking to everybody else about it is not helping. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not helping. Because I know for sure a therapist will tell you you need to deal with your trauma head on. You need to go talk to the person that caused this trauma. Mm. Now, if you got a bunch of exes that treated you like shit and that's your trauma, I mean, you can't go talk to all of them. Right. So you just kind of...
We wouldn't recommend you doing that.
But when it comes to childhood trauma, it usually is starting in the house. And, whether it comes from... If it comes from stuff like molestation and things like that, if you kept it to yourself and didn't tell anybody because you felt as though they wouldn't believe you, like that's something you're harboring. And then as an adult, that'll fuck you up. It'll fuck you up in everything that you do because you'll always be thinking about it. The wrong touch can set you off. The wrong voice can set you off. Whatever the case may be, like you have to tell somebody about it. Even if it's 20 years later, tell somebody about it and talk to them so you can let go of that little girl or little boy who you holding on to. Yeah. Because they're not, like, you're an adult now. You in your late 20s, early 20s, late 30s, early 30s, and you're still dealing with something that happened when you were 10, 11, and 12. Like, you have to keep stepping, but you have to deal with it as well. And I know that's hard for a lot of people, but...
Because some people, when they were kids, they didn't... they grew up and didn't deal with it. So it's like, damn, I'm still carrying something in the back of my head. Like it's still there. Like they might date somebody and they might have been molested as a kid. Like the person might have been molested as a kid and now they date somebody and they might do something like, oh, and they like jump a little bit and they don't even realize it. And that person's like, well, damn, did I do something?
Yeah.
Whole time they're somebody, somewhere along the line in their life, somebody did something or touched them that particular way. And now it brought back
Memories.
a memory or something like that, or that past trauma. Shit is hard. Trauma is hard to deal with in general. It's hard to deal with. Like, how many people in the city that we live in deal with trauma every single day in their neighborhoods?
In their household.
In their house, yeah. Like
y'all constantly doing, like, I know a lot of the younger generation right now is dealing with a lot of their friends getting killed before they reach the age of 18, 17, even 16.
Yeah.
Like, these kids is going on proms, going to parties, trying to live regular life, and they can't because somebody out here is just
trying to take them.
trying to take that shit away from them. Like, a lot of these kids are missing out on their adolescence, their childhood, because you constantly got to look over your shoulder. Like, you can't, when we were kids, we could go to parties. Like, the most you going to see is a fight. If somebody had a gun, that was few far in between. Yeah. But most you going to see is, a fight, flash mob, shit like that. Yeah. But, like, what they going through right now, these
kids want to kill.
They want to kill.
When you were younger, you was trying to get the girls. You trying to link up with the girls and all that. They trying to kill them. They trying to kill each other.
All the shit that's going on down South Street. I was going down South Street to see where the niggas was. Like, I'm giving out my phone number to niggas I'm probably not gonna talk to. But that's what the most was. Now you got fucking mass shootings on South Street. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's ridiculous. But trauma is so many roundabouts to trauma, and it's so many things that you can do. But like I said, acknowledgement is the first step in everything. If you have a partner that you can talk to that's open and understanding, talk to them about it. But if they actually want to help you, they're going to tell you the same thing I'm telling you. You have to talk to that person. You have to deal with it head on. You got to find out how to get through it, how to get over it. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you don't take no steps to do it, they're going to be like, what the fuck?
Exactly. It's head on, man. Just take all problems, anything, just take head on. Everything's a conversation, as you always say, man. Everything's a conversation. Final thought when it comes to narcissistic people and damaged people.
Acknowledge. Pay attention to the signs. Narcissistic people are quick to gaslight. If you feel as though you being gaslighted, talk to somebody outside of it. Like it's always a third party that might help you see it better. But narcissistic people will make you feel wrong about everything, every choice you make, every judgment, all that, and you have to actually pay attention. And you have to know that it's not good for you, no matter the length of the friendship, no matter the length of the relationship, no matter how long you've been working for that company. If your boss is a narcissist, like, you have to move. Yeah. Like, you have to step forward and out of that, because you stay in it too long and you'll start to forget yourself. Yeah, you might turn into a narcissistic person yourself, not even realizing that does
it. Hanging around
the
wrong
people.
It'll rub off on you. Mm-hmm. And just an additional final thought, just off topic, to the youth in general and just to people in general, is a lot going on in the world, a lot going on in the city. Life is bigger than those four walls, as I would say, inside your neighborhood, man. Those 4 blocks, the 4-block radius, man. Go travel, man. Get out of go somewhere and travel. See different parts of the world. See different parts, because, man, sometimes people get stuck in this little cage in your area, and that's all you see, and you think that's all it is in life. It's way more in life, man. Yeah, it's way more in life. Youth,
like, some of y'all friends is fuck boys and dumbass bitches. I just want y'all to understand that. I don't care. A lot of y'all is old enough. Y'all curse just like me. Y'all can understand what I'm saying. And don't follow behind them. If you know damn well that you've never picked up a gun, you've never held one, you've never shot one, don't go picking up a gun because the 5 of your friends picked up a gun. Yeah, because that's what y'all all gonna get that same time. Y'all all gonna get that same time, or one of y'all will wind up killed, and it can be you because you decided to follow after them. These people are not your friends if they making you follow them down the wrong path. They're not your friends. At the end of the day, you need to pick new friends or hang out with them to a certain extent. If you feel like they're about to do some dumb shit that you don't want to be a part of, remove yourself from it. And if they're your real friends, they'll understand that and follow suit. But if not, if they call you a nut, if they call you a rat, if they call you, like, you a baby, you a pussy, whatever the case may be, that's not your friend. Why would you want that?
Yeah. You don't gotta always, please don't follow down that same path. Tell you
No.
something, 30 seconds can get you 30 years in prison, man. It ain't worth it.
It's motherfuckers that
Not
did
worth it.
dumb shit when they were kids and they in prison for life.
Yeah, man.
How do you feel at 16 you in jail for life?
Yeah, it ain't worth it. Because guess what? You do all that stuff because you didn't want to fight, and then you go in jail, you got to fight. So make that make sense. Make that make sense, man. Like we'll say, man, common sense ain't always so common. So put a little bit more smarts in the world, and definitely put a little bit more love in the world. Tell somebody you love them, man, because, you know, it's crazy out here, but, man, make sure you tell somebody you love them. And on that note, that's the Bull Vance.
And
I'll let y'all.
Make it